get started now. So thanks so much for making it to the TECA Demo Day. My name is Mwani Blu, and I'm the TECA Africa lead. I would like to welcome you, the TECA community members, to the TECA's Diani Blue Wave Demo Day. Quite a mouthful. Today's Demo Day brings together over 20 investors, various blue economy experts, partners, and partner organizations, and our esteemed TECA fellows and founders, and the wider TECA team. As you all are aware, TECA, which stands for Triggering Exponential Climate Action, is a venture launcher. Our mission is to create a pipeline of scalable climate solutions that can swiftly address the pressing challenges of the climate emergency. By 2025, we aim to launch 150 ventures, fostering an innovation ecosystem that combines science-based ideas, patient capital, and local talent. This is just but the beginning. In this journey that you started with us, and I'd like to leave you with a quote from the distinguished Wangari Maathai, a Kenyan environmental political activist and the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And in her words, she said, "Until you dig a hole, plant a tree, water it, and make it survive, you haven't done a thing. You're just talking." We are not just talking. We have dug a hole and we've planted a tree. And now we welcome the TECA community to help water it and make it survive to build a more sustainable future. TECA is a climate innovation, TECA is a climate innovation for adaptation and resilience alliance initiative, the CIFA Alliance, as many of you know it. And this first wave was primarily funded by FSD Africa, a CIFA Alliance member. Without further ado, I would like to invite Juliet to give a few words. Juliet represents FSD Africa. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shirley, and hello, everyone, and thanks a lot for joining us today. I'm not going to say much because we've got a lot to cover in the pitches, but as the angel investor of this TECA Blue Economy Wave alongside BFA Global, I might add, I'm really excited to have reached this milestone, so thanks for joining us. I think for me, today's session is really a combination of three things. It's a combination of celebration, of reflection, and also a plea. So I think firstly, let's celebrate the new companies that you're going to be hearing from. They didn't exist not so long ago, and what they've achieved over the last few months is truly admirable and reflection of what's possible when African young minds, talent, and a space for ideation are combined with some capital, experience, and other resources. And a shout out to the advisory group who've been very involved in this. So we hope you enjoy and celebrate these pitches. I think secondly, as we watch them, I encourage us all to reflect on the reason why TECA exists in the first place. Why are we doing this, and why do we need it to continue to do it? For FSD Africa, our decision to invest is a no-brainer. I think the impact of climate change and biodiversity loss is very much a reality in Africa and is particularly being felt at the community level. And while we know that global commitments around climate change are increasing, there remains a disconnect, I think, between these commitments and the actual flow of finance to good value creating projects. And so TECA is helping to originate and build companies like these that we're going to see today, to which investment can then flow and be put to good use. And I think on that note, that leads me to my third point, which is the plea. As Shirley mentioned, we need to build an ecosystem of investment, of expertise, and of other support, not only to help the companies that we're hearing from to thrive and scale, but also to continue to create new ones, solving for challenges in the blue economy, as well as in inland areas, in cities, and so on. So while we as FSD Africa have committed to supporting TECA over the next few years, we're also looking for other partners to join us and BFA Global in achieving this. And thanks to those of you who already have or are looking to do so, but we need more. So lastly, speaking as a supporter of TECA from the outset, I can vouch for it not only being very mission fulfilling, but also very fun. So yes, your watering analogy, Shirley, is apt. And I'm going to hand back to you on that note. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juliet, for your kind words. I wanted to just iterate on what the agenda is. As we promised, it will be more of pitches in this particular demo day. We'll focus the first hour on those pitches. We'll give room for 1 or 2 questions after each venture pitches. And then we can get into in-depth along a Q&A session at the top of the hour for about 30 minutes. Without further ado, I'd like to pass it on to Shivani to lead the pitch session. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shirley. So our first team will be Wezesha.
My name is Aman. I'm the CEO of Wezesha Aqua Farms, and I will be speaking to you about how we are making aquaculture sustainable, accessible, and affordable for fishing communities in Eastern Africa. In recent years, there's been a 90% decline in wild fish catch. Over 16 million people directly depend on these declining stocks for an income in the region. Two things make this situation even more challenging. First, rapid population growth puts over 25% of the population at risk of protein deficiency. Secondly, climate change, overfishing, and pollution are accelerating the rate at which the wild fish stocks are declining. By 2030, the value of fish consumption is projected to increase fivefold from today's $6 billion. Aquaculture has been touted as a solution. However, it is inaccessible to fishing communities due to the high costs involved. For example, an entry-level cage can cost $18,000. At Wezesha, we lease managed cages to local fishing communities. In addition to this, we facilitate access to quality fingerlings, fish feed, technical expertise, and an offtake market, making it undeniably attractive for small-scale fisherfolk and farmers. Instead of parting with thousands of dollars to build a cage, we lease them for just $250 a month. They can now earn 60% more than they do in wild fishing. Over time, we will also provide access to a suite of financial products, such as credit and insurance, that these fishermen can access by leveraging their fish in the leased cages. Since our solution is less capital and labor intensive, we will also attract previously excluded segments like women and youth, who in the current setup take up roles as fishmongers in the local fish markets or provide low-wage casual labor to the local fish processors. Since our launch in February, we have secured government permits to set up an aquaculture site and deployed 2 aquaculture cages with our initial fisher cooperatives. We have also signed up additional co-ops on our waiting list. Collectively, these 8 co-ops have over 200 members who stand to benefit from our solution. We made the offering more attractive by providing a certain amount of the cost of feed as credit, starting at 90% of the total cost of feed on the first month, up to 50% of the cost of feed for month 7, recoverable at the sale of the harvest. Also, we're in the process of concluding a partnership with an eDNA monitoring and analysis company that will be helping us understand the impact of the natural biodiversity of the areas of our waters. Climate change has proven to be a major threat to our existing food systems. By empowering local fishing communities in East Africa to practice aquaculture, they will be able to counter the impacts of reducing stocks on their livelihoods, as well as fulfill the current and future demand gap of protein as a nutrient at an economically and socially efficient level. Our team is the best team to execute this model at this moment. I have spent over 8 years designing and developing purpose-built real estate and infrastructure projects. Adrian has spent over 7 years building communities in the agriculture sector along the shores of Lake Victoria. And Stefano is an aquaculture PhD holder who has perfected cage fish farming and carried out aquaculture research and development for 10 years. The diversified strengths of this team make implementing such a solution much easier. We are looking to raise $125,000. 60% of this will be allocated to scale the total number of deployed cages to 10, so as to cater for the additional signed up co-ops as well as those we have on our waiting list. Given that our model can be asset heavy, these 10 cages will enable us to extensively develop and understand our asset model further, so as to make it feasible for us to access debt capital from traditional financing channels. Next, we hope to raise a large seed round to scale the team and our products to regional markets in East Africa. We are Wezesha, and we are making sustainable aquaculture more accessible and affordable for fishing communities in East Africa. We are an experienced team. We have great traction with existing paying users, and we're prepared to scale our offering in our current and other potential markets.
Hello, Molweni. We are Mwani Blu, and today I'm going to be telling you how we help seaweed farmers earn a dignified income. Now, let me tell you about one of our potential users, Mama Fatuma, a wife, a homemaker, and a seaweed farmer living in Kibuyuni. Mama Fatuma is one of 6 million farmers in the world that embodies the resilience of seaweed farming. She ventured into Mwani farming, as the locals call it, 22 years ago, in a village where the main economic activity was fishing, mostly led by men. However, Mama Fatuma and the 25,000 seaweed farmers in East Africa only sell their harvest at a local price of 25 cents to the dollar, given that the same seaweed typically fetches from 75 cents to $1 in the global market. After time on the field, with research and the community, we founded Mwani Blu to solve these issues on hand. Mwani Blu is not just a digital marketplace, it's also protecting the ocean, reducing digital gender inequalities, and building more resilient economies. Mwani Blu is providing our smallholder farmers with MRV support and dignified income. Through our technology, traceability can occur, making the markets more transparent, adding increased commercial value by over 300%, and enhancing the potential of carbon credits and biodiversity credits. The Mwani Blu customers are processing companies like Nestle and Cargill who want to monitor the quality, the quantity from their local farmers, and they're keen on sourcing long-term, sustainably grown seaweed. At Mwani Blu, we want to be the golden thread in this growing industry and provide our users with a journey on how this 45-day grown seaweed turns into various products that are all done on site by Mama Fatuma and her team. Mwani Blu believes that the support of technology in nature-based solutions are crucial to help scale and commercialize communities like this across the African coastline. So, how big is this market? Let me show you some numbers. The total addressable market for the seaweed industry in East Africa is around $222 million, with an annual growth rate between 7 to 10%. And we believe at Mwani Blu will be tapping into these markets and helping them with traceability throughout. Our traction thus far is introducing the Kenyan market to 2 new buyers. Firstly, Notpla Limited, a sustainable packaging startup using seaweed as one of their raw materials for alternatives to single-use plastics, and Fiki Agritech to meet their production needs. We believe working with these 2 companies and more will create better, improved, dignified incomes for our seaweed farmers. Now, the team behind the traction and vision thus far has collective work experience of 21 years, and we are confident in our capacity to scale Mwani Blu across Africa. Myself, the CEO and co-founder, had the opportunity of studying my master's in sustainable development in the seaweed industry, and I'm also known as the ocean protector. My other co-founder, Wangari, has worked with communities and supported over 1,500 women with training and funding and technical assistance, while Colin, our CTO, is an experienced tech innovator with startup experience in Europe and Africa. With our traction and new markets opening up, We believe that our impact and vision slide, which is the most brightest slide, will truly happen in the next few years. And if you continue to support Mwani Blu, these are the SGD goals we'll be also supporting, all below. Our impact and vision for 2030 is definitely rich in direct and co-benefits. Together with our team, we're inviting you to become an early stage investor with a $100,000 ask to tap into technology and the much needed infrastructure that we need to continue our traction, to continue our vision that we have for the African continent. Together, we have the opportunity to change the narrative for Africa and empower women like Mama Fatuma and the 25,000 farmers living in East Africa. Let Mwani Blu be the golden thread in the seaweed industry. And with that, I would like to say thank you so much for your time. Please scan the barcode and let's continue this conversation.
Hi, did you know that mangrove restoration is one of the most effective nature-based solutions to climate change? So effective that mangrove forests can remove up to 4 times more carbon than terrestrial forests? Well, now you know. Hi, my name is Fardosa Mustafa and I am the CEO of RegisTree, where we empower coastal communities to implement and scale their mangrove ecosystem restoration using technology. Unfortunately, despite their diverse ecosystem, biodiversity richness, and importance to communities' livelihoods and climate resilience, mangroves have continued to face degradation. These communities that we work with in Watamu, in Kenya, are the ones that do most of the restoration work. However, their work is hindered by barriers in management and lack of access to effective tools for safety and restoration when doing conservation of mangroves. The potential for restoration and flowing benefits of mangrove restoration is huge. In Kenya alone, there's 3,000 hectares available for restoration, and for every hectare of mangroves restored, there's 2.7 full-time jobs that can be created. These jobs are mostly in agriculture, fisheries, and the forestry sectors. Additionally, 10,000 people in the Media Creek alone depend on mangroves for their livelihoods, and this extends up to 40 million along the West Indian Ocean coast. When it comes to the blue carbon market, the market is expected to reach at least 30 billion by 2030, and Kenya alone supplies 20% of all of Africa's carbon credits. So where does RegisTree come in all of this? We want to empower communities through technology and providing the tools that they need. We set up a restoration hub to provide the safety tools like the gumboots, gloves, training and technical assistance for mangrove restoration and other sustainable livelihood activities. We also have partnerships for impact. We collaborate with both the private sector and the public sector to drive impact and to ensure that the work of the communities is sustainable for the long term. We also rely on easy-to-use digital tools for the CBOs to manage and track their restoration. We deploy tools such as IoT devices and drones and satellite surveillance. Let me introduce you to our users. Tunda is a CBO member. She needs safety tools and equipment like gloves and gumboots to carry out the restoration, which she can access at our restoration hub. Katana is a CBO manager. He needs easy-to-use digital technology to track and monitor the restoration work done by his groups and also the alternative livelihood activities such as beekeeping. Alex is our funder who will be using our platform to financially support groups that he has interacted with on his visit to Watamu and whereby he can access and track these projects done by the communities. Here is how our platform works. Communities can display their projects for visibility. They can also manage their wallet and save, pay, and earn. They can also request technical assistance and equipment, and also they can use our tools for monitoring and tracking of their restoration work. Donors can access the projects on our platform where they can also deploy the finances against any outcomes that they choose. Now on to our traction. We have identified tech partners to conduct biodiversity site assessments and feasibility studies for the project that these communities are working on. We also have ongoing negotiations with the Kenya Forest Service and Wildlife Service, who are the custodians of the Meadow Creek where we work, which is a protected area. We have also already onboarded 16 groups and have access to 30 more who work in the Meadow Creek area doing mangrove restoration and other alternative livelihood activities. RegisTree's impact has a triple tier. First, on the planet. On life below water, mangroves are vital nursery habitats and breeding grounds for fish. This means that with restored and conserved mangroves, then the biodiversity gets to thrive. When it comes to supporting climate action by community groups, the communities are able to track their work, and additionally, the investments in mangrove restoration can flow directly to communities and promote decent work and economic growth through promoting their sustainable activities. This is our team. I am the COO. I am an advocate of the High Court of Kenya with 4 years experience and a master's in sustainable community development. I am as an environmental lawyer. I also lead community-based movements like Tuesdays for Trash, which raises awareness and organizes monthly cleanups in Kenya. Samkem Guni is our CEO. She's a trained conservation scientist with 12 years experience in protected area management. Her most notable career achievement is securing 40 hectares under a national conservation agreement. Our joint expertise in legal and community development, community mobilization, report writing, stakeholder engagement, and fundraising make us the right team for this job. Our ask is $55,000, which will go towards setting up and stocking the restoration hub that the community groups can access, and also building and improving our platform functionality to integrate data collection and monitoring tools that the communities can use. Thank you for your interest in our work, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
I am Elizabeth Okulo, one of the founders of AquaMnara. When you hear the word AquaMnara, think healthy fish, wealthy farmer. Today I'm excited to share with you our progress. Before good news, I have not so good news. About 4 weeks ago, fish farmers in Dunga Beach, Kisumu lost over $150,000 due to poor water quality. In a span of 10 months, fish farmers have lost staggering $7 million. The effect of poor water quality extends beyond cage farmers and even pond farmers. We spoke to close to 100 farmers in Kisumu, where 80% say that they never test their water, hence losing a third of their produce. These issues are preventable, and that is why we exist. We provide water quality monitoring and extension services to farmers in two ways. Our technician visit the farmers and take on the details in terms of the parameters for the farm, such as the temperature, the pH, and also the dissolved oxygen levels. Based on the finding, he advises the farmers on what to do to resolve any particular issues. We also provide training on water quality monitoring to increase awareness on that regard. And this is a graph to show our very first customer, Maureen, whom when we first visited had low dissolved oxygen levels due to the use of suboptimal municipal water in her farm. We advised her to start using spring water, after which she was able to see the fish becoming more active and increasing her farm's productivity. Currently, we are charging monthly fees for our services, and also as we grow, we are going to facilitate inputs, linkages, and also market linkages and get paid on a commission basis for that. And the aquaculture industry is growing rapidly, and currently it is valued at $191.3 billion in terms of the total available market, and the serviceable obtainable market is at $239 million. With a strong focus on customers' need and product development, we also stand a chance of getting alliance shares in this particular industry and becoming a market leader. And so far, we already have early indicators to support that. We onboarded 20 customers who are paying us $200 per month, and we thus far trained 60 customers, 14 of which are women, and collected data from over 10 farmers within a period of 2 months. We are also conscious on the impact of climate change in the aquaculture, as you know that changes in precipitation patterns and rising temperatures affect the water quality in the fish farms. As such, through our data-driven solutions, we are promoting sustainable aquaculture practices that ensure that the farmers produce high-quality fish and thus increasing their income and becoming more resilient to the effect of the climate change. The team that is making things happen on the ground include Walter Gutu, who has over 2 years of experience working with fish farmers, and he has an impressive aquaculture background. Second is Shamin Muhondiwa, who has over 2 years of experience of building hardware devices. Shamin has won several competitions, and she is a computer scientist by profession. And myself, Elizabeth Okulo, I am a two-times founder with an early exit and have a background in microbiology and agribusiness management. For the past 6 years, I worked with farmers and also agricultural entrepreneurs to help deliver impactful solutions. All of us, we have a combined over 10 years of experience working with the fish farming communities and leveraging technology for impact. The next goal we have is to build a water quality monitoring device that will help us to scale to more farmers cheaply and get consistent data in terms of the farm's performance, of which of huge benefit will be the real-time data on the condition of the farm based on the water quality indicators with an inbuilt early warning system, which will ensure that the farmers increase their productivity. In order to achieve that, we are seeking funding of $75,000 for product development, research and development, and to support our go-to-market strategy. AquaMnara is a data-driven solution provider committed to promoting sustainable and profitable fish farming practices in Africa. In just 2 months, we have signed up 20 customers and have planned to scale to 100 more customers within a span of 6 months. We are smart, focused, and mission driven founders who are keen to make an outsized positive impact on environment and fish farmers. Come talk to us, AquaMnara, for healthy fish and happy farmers. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Matthew Egesa. I am the co-founder and CEO of VUA. At VUA, we seek to strengthen the resilience of fishing communities and marine biodiversity. This coming September, a small-scale fisher called Ali, who lives on the coast of Kenya, would like to purchase his own sustainable fishing gear. However, one thing stands in his way. He will be coming off a 6-month low fishing season, and the gear costs $800, far beyond his reach. During the low fishing season, between May and October, his income is normally irregular. Yet, during this same time, he still has to meet his daily household and other emergency needs, such as healthcare. Furthermore, Ali has limited access to modern financial products because he lacks the conventional requirements needed by banks. He is just one of over 14,000 small-scale fishers in Kenya and over 5 million of them all across Africa. They are all in the same situation. VUA's first product is an income smoothing solution. Ali makes daily, preset, or flexible savings that are automatically deducted from his earnings. This is simple, hassle-free, and effective. In the low season, he can access the savings to boost his reduced and irregular earnings or buy that sustainable fishing gear. VUA partners with off-takers who work with small-scale fishers such as Ali. Our fintech solution, the VUA platform, facilitates and tracks payments, savings, stipend disbursements, and loans. It allows Ali to receive instant payments from the fish dealers via mobile money. Through a check-off system, VUA platform allows small-scale fishers to automatically save during that payment transaction. VUA platform will also provide transaction history and a credit profile for the small-scale fishers to enable them access credit, which is currently unavailable to them. Unlike other solutions currently in the market, VUA platform is tailor-made for small-scale fishers and blue economy players. Through the check-off system, it enforces financial discipline and makes it easier for them to save. We generate revenue by charging a commission on the savings and loans. Despite starting our pilot during the low fishing season, we are already working with over 30 small-scale fishers in Kiwayu Island who are saving towards the purchase of sustainable fishing gear. We have also partnered with Kumbatia Seafood Limited as the fish off-takers and Chums.io as the licensed custodian of the savings. VUA platform will help small-scale fishers to diversify climate change risks by offering financial services to start and grow other forms of livelihood. It will also help them to recover from financial shocks during the low fishing season by smoothing their incomes. It will finally help small-scale fishers in dealing with the impacts of climate change, such as replacements of damaged boats and gear. For the blue ecosystems, VUA platform will reduce exploitation of fish populations and reef ecosystems because of improved diversified economic opportunities among the small-scale fishers. I have a background in computer science and a PhD in business information systems. My co-founder is Titus, who has a background in software engineering. We have over 15 years experience in building and launching successful applications and innovations. If you're looking to make real impact in the financial health for small-scale fishers and blue economy players, then partner with us. We are seeking $77,500 towards platform development, carrying out financial literacy training, and behavioral change campaigns. This will help in scaling our solution to other locations along the coast of Kenya and grow the number of fishers to 200 come September. Thank you very much.
Hello, TECA family and friends. For those who know us already, we look forward to share our updates with you. And for those who don't, we're excited to introduce you to Carboni Tourism's vision and theory of change. Who we are. We are a tourism-focused carbon offsetting platform to support climate initiatives by the local communities in the countries that you visit across Africa and the Middle East. Research shows that 48% of tourists are willing to offset their emissions, but they don't know how or where to do it. That is around 90 million tourists out of the 200 million who visited Africa would be interested in offsetting. So the problem Carboni Tourism solves is that, one, the local tourism activity or tour operators lack the infrastructure to offer willing tourists the ability to offset their trips. And two, we're not just talking about airlines here. Think of all other activities that you can do in a place as beautiful as the Red Sea or the Mara. We validated the problem and we tested the concept in Sharm el-Sheikh, and the results were amazing. 6 out of 10 tourists that we talked to were willing to offset their dive trip. And we started envisioning what would be needed to convert as much as possible out of those 90 million possible customers per year. We've identified that our goal should be to make it as easy as possible. scan a QR code, you're presented with your trip activity emission, choose one project you want to support and possibly that you've seen or heard about while on the trip, and pay. 1, 2, 3, easy. Now, we're very happy to say that now you can go test our full functioning beta version, so please use it to offset your trips from now on. Scan the QR code and it will take you to there. The Carboni Tourism team is made up of 3 people with diverse and complementary skill sets. Our combined experiences make us the perfect team to deliver this solution from a community perspective, tourism markets, and technology experience standpoint. Here's the human factor behind Carboni. Elaine is a sustainability professional with a computer science background and has been our brand ambassador since we started. She has a master's from Lund in environmental sciences and a computer science degree from Duke. She also used to work for Morgan Stanley. Diana is a carbon market expert and has experience working with conservation projects. She also has an economics degree from Wharton. And myself, Amir, I have over 15 years of experience in the diving tourism industry as a diving medicine specialist living in Sharm. And by the way, I'm still dealing with divers and dive centers on a daily basis, so I know the industry as the back of my hand. Since we started the second phase with TECA a couple of months ago, here's what we have achieved. A pipeline of dive centers who signed up to use our services, a live website that you can go test, and please do, and an upcoming collaboration with the Gold Standard to integrate with their offsets marketplace. We are currently in discussions to bring this to the Masai Mara camps and other tour operators in Kenya. We're also currently in the process of closing mega deals with the biggest tour operator and hotel chain owner in Egypt, Trafco Group, and also the iconic gem or the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is due to open by the end of this year. Both see a turnover of around 9 to 10 million tourists every year. Now, the important question is, why are we doing all of this? One, because it makes sense. We need to use the power of this once-in-a-lifetime experience the tourists go through to help in building community and ecosystem resilience towards climate change. And two, it doesn't only make sense, it also makes money. We take a 25% cut of the paid offsets to cover all operations. The good thing is that we're building this at the right time. There is a growing interest in the VCM, or the voluntary carbon market, and a booming tourism industry across Africa. So how can you be part of Carboni Tourism's journey? We've just started to fundraise, and we're looking to raise $100,000 in a safe note. Also, we're looking into connections and partnerships. What's even better than money is definitely a paying customer or the right connection to a local community project. One of the examples of a connection or an introduction that we might need is with the Nairobi National Park management, so we can start testing and collaborating with them to provide offsets for the game trips and safaris that they provide inside there. Finally, I'd like to thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward to answer all your questions.
Greetings, my name is Sheila Ruto, the CEO and co-founder of Conservate Africa. I am excited to share with you our plan to assist 20,000 community-based organizations to attract more donor investment and accelerate their positive impact on community and climate. In COP27, a whopping sum of $230 million was pledged to the Adaptation Fund. This is just one example of the financial resources that want to flow into conservation. However, a significant challenge and potential risk looms. A large chunk of this capital cannot flow fast enough since there is lack of verifiable and credible data to unlock it. In Kenya, there are approximately 40,000 registered community-based organizations, with 54% of this operating in the environmental conservation sector. Coastal Kenya alone has more than 1,000 community-based organizations dedicated to marine conservation. Our solution as Conservate is an intermediary online platform that connects community-based organizations with donors and businesses keen on investing in conservation projects. We support community-based organizations in enhancing the monitoring, reporting, and evaluation of the impacts being derived through their ongoing conservation initiatives. Donors have the opportunity to view projects and make payments towards specific projects based on performance through our platform. Our revenue model is spent on commissions on the funds disbursed by the donors, and we also offer MRV services as a package to businesses interested in the same. By using Conservate, conservation efforts have become more visible, and funds delivered through the system lead to tangible impacts on both the environment and community livelihood. Over the past 2 months, Conservate is happy to report that we have successfully brought on board 20 community-based organizations and one donor partner onto our platform. We are progressing well towards our goal of adding 50 more community-based organizations before August. We understand that our business model and approach necessitates us to establish a significant number of community-based organizations on our platform before we can attract more donors to fund the various projects. So the faces behind Team Conservate is myself, your able CEO. I am a seasoned professional in the fields of environmental sustainability and social impact. Previously worked with KTDA Foundation and the United Nations Global Compact. I currently now work with the WWF team, where I lead the strategic public-private partnerships and the fundraising portfolio. Our COO, Elisha Otaigo, is an environmental economist and an award-winning serial entrepreneur with several years of working experience in data analysis and biofeeds. And lastly, our CTO, Samu Mwiroti, is a proficient technology specialist with a robust experience in Web3 technology, mobile, and payment systems. Our ask today as Conservate is $100,000 to hit the 200 mark on the number of verified CBOs in our platform. This will place us in a positive unit economically to be in a position to raise a seed round in the 12 months to scale this up to 500 verified community-based organizations on our platform. We are Conservate. We invite you to join us on this journey of tracing deserving community-based organizations who work tirelessly to preserve their natural resources and improve their livelihoods. We leave you with this video that gives you a snippet of the user research we conducted this year in March. Thank you.
Nimefurahia sana kwa sababu mkutano nimeona wamegusia mambo ambayo yanatutatiza. Tumekuwa tukipata shida sana, changamoto nyingi, jinsi ya kuelezea kuhusu miradi yetu, jinsi ya kuripot, jinsi ya kufanya monitoring and evaluation. Hatujakuwa na ujuzi sana hivyo, japo tumepata funds tofauti.
We have learned a lot in the meeting. The meeting was so impactful. They have a lot of information. They have taught us a lot, and we are looking forward to working with them.
So I'm really grateful to have been in this platform where I've met with the Conservate, and we are looking forward to a fruitful engagement. Thank you very much.
This program would not have been possible without many of you, the funders that supported the program, FSD Africa as the angel investor, Schmidt Marine for providing funding towards some of the pitches when we went to Cape Town, local entrepreneurs who answered the call to be agents of change in their communities. Also, the ones who made it this far and were able to pitch today. I would also like to thank the TECA community in its broadest form, the ones that were involved in creating or in the genesis of the ideas at the very beginning when we were having the expeditions, the ones who provided masterclasses and lessons to the TECA fellows who then became founders, and even the ones who provided advice as entrepreneurs that have gone before them. I'd also like to thank our advisors who tirelessly, or rather devoted their valuable time in piloting the wave and providing advice to the fellows. In addition, I'd like to thank the TECA team that tirelessly worked to plan this event, plan the wave, and also implement and execute the wave to achieve the success we have. Most importantly, or in terms of being all conclusive, I'd also like to thank the stakeholders that we have interacted with along the way, the stakeholders that were involved in the interviews, the users that provided feedback into the creation of the solutions as you saw them. It has indeed been a collective effort to get to this day. As a next step, we are looking to launch the second Blue Wave in the third quarter of this year, 2023. We'll be putting out a call for fellows who'd like to join the TECA program and the wider community. Should you want to act as a mentor, should you want to be involved in the ideation process, providing ideas and providing support, should you want to provide funding, we'll be putting out a call. We indeed have an open call for applications where you can apply early, but we'll be putting out an official call closer to the time. The second wave has received commitment again from FSD Africa and the Great Blue Wall, an initiative of the IUCN. We are also in progress conversations with a few ecosystem players like the Climate Collective, WCS, and particularly their Okavango Capital Program, and in terms of exploring ways of continued support towards the funders that presented here today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shirley. I think you've said it all beautifully. The only thing I would say is that it's definitely, as I was mentioning on the chat, it's definitely taken a whole village, a whole community to help, to identify, to support the fellows that then became founders. We definitely couldn't have done it on our own at BFA because there's so many things we don't know, for example, about blue sustainability opportunities, as I was chatting with David Abura about, as just one of many examples. So we're super, super grateful that all of us together have come and focused on getting these companies formed and created and going forward and hopefully lasting very long, growing very big, making us all super proud. And it's been a terrific journey. So we didn't know how to do this a year ago. We were constantly figuring out how to run the next phase, how to design it and execute it. Big hug and thank for all the fellows and founders that have had to endure our lack of expertise running a process like this. But I think the need is major. I think we have found together a process that gets a committed group of people from a commitment moment to a launch of a company in the shortest amount of time possible. I'm sure we'll do better in future waves, but it's been quite an eventful and intense year. And we cannot be more grateful. Thanks a lot to everyone for allowing us, for encouraging us all together to create a Diani wave, as we're calling it, and to see what it's resulted on these 7 amazing companies, right? So thanks a lot.